Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Football Fignuts podcast. This is season one. Season one. Wow, I'm going to do that retake. This is season 4, episode 31. If you counted all of them from season 1, this is 181 episodes. I'm Craig.
And I'm Sean.
And Sean is here this week. Is everyone surprised? They are.
Your downloads will be. No.
They are. Everyone is shocked. Shocked, I tell you. How are you? You have not been here in a while.
I have not. I'm doing all right.
Good. Good.
Can't complain. I am all vaccinated now.
Are you? Like, you got your second shot?
Oh, yeah. I got my second shot today.
Oh, no weird side effects? You don't have, like, a third eye or anything?
No, third eye has not come in.
Okay.
They're not growing extra limb.
Okay.
So,
right.
Doing pretty good.
Good. You're not tired or anything? Your arm hurt?
Yep. Nope, not yet.
Okay. Nice. So you know what? Yeah, there's we're taking this week off and decided to change it up and have Sean here. So welcome, sir. So
Yeah, thanks for having me.
As we always start, sir, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Day of the Serpent from Relic Brewing.
Oh, that sounds very
double
Conan-ish.
IPA. Double IPA, Nelson Sauvin and Citra hops.
Oh.
8.5.
Ooh.
Here it goes. Hold on.
All right. Push. One day someone's going to notice we say that, but until then.
And how about you, Craig? What are you having?
So tonight, I did have a Trog's Java Stout before, because it was like 4 o'clock, and I was like, man, I feel kind of tired, and I need a coffee, but I'm like, you know what? If I can mix coffee and beer, why not? So I had that before, but right now I have a Voodoo Ranger American Haze by New Belgium. Which is kind of cool. You know, one of the grocery stores around here, actually closer to you than me, they have a pretty decent beer selection, but they sell singles. So this is one of the
They do.
singles I picked up. Bush. And now, quick thing about that, and you already know this story because I sent it in our group chat. So, as you know, everyone needs to wear a mask everywhere, or they should, right? So I go into the grocery store, right? Everyone has a mask on. Shopping around. I go to the beer section. I pick out the 6 different beers, that I wanted to try. And another quick side note. Hi, Deb. And I tried Bud Light Seltzer.
Hi, Deb.
It was not bad. It was
bad.
better than the Corona one.
Okay.
I was impressed. So I get all my stuff. I go to the checkout. Stand in there. Load the stuff up on the conveyor there, and then they do the beer last, right? So he gets to the beer. I'm taking out my wallet, and I see that he's getting ready because he needs the manager to okay it and whatever. So the manager comes over to the register, and she looks at me. Have my mask on. I have a hat on, right? And now she goes, can I see your ID? I show her my ID. And my ID is the new one where it's these fancy star passport ID, like the extra federal ID thing. I show her that. She looks at it, looks at me, looks at it again, looks up and says, can you pull your mask down? I was like, all right. So I did really quick, and I looked at her and like, okay, and then put it back on. She's like, oh, you look a lot younger with the mask on. I was like, thank you. I think I'm not sure how I should take that.
Just an old man.
It says 1976 on there, so yeah. I guess it's the gray in the beard, maybe. I don't know. That
must be it. So yes. The Relic is actually pretty good.
Is it?
The Day of the Serpent, not bad at all. It's a solid IPA. Not too much bite. I do taste the Citra.
Is it juicy or is it kind of dry out?
It is. It's juicy, and then you get a little bit of dryness. Not too much. So not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, this American haze is definitely on the juicier side,
Mm-hmm.
and it's weird because the juice feeling in like the in your mouth is way on the back end.
Okay.
Like it's juicier now, like 30 seconds after I just drink it.
Hmm. That's interesting. I usually
Yeah.
don't get that. Usually I get the dry at the end.
Hmm. Different. And you know what's weird? I'm drinking beer out of a 12-ounce can. How often does that happen anymore?
Not very, not very.
Remember when everything was just a 12-ounce can
Mm-hmm.
or bottle and 6 packs? All right. So, on to burning hot takes. Sir, would you like to give or receive?
I'll receive first.
Okay. All right. So what is your thoughts on the commercials for the Super Bowl? Yes, no, indifferent.
Um, they were okay. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't anything great this year, I don't think. I mean, there was a couple of nice ones. I did like the Bud Light Legends, getting, reminiscing about some of those old guys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a
The Bud
couple.
Light bottles. That was an awesome little
Yeah,
cameo.
that's,
I
I
love that.
like, yeah, the Bud Bowl bottles. Yes, that was pretty cool. Um, there's a couple of them, but there was a couple of them that really were bad. The oat milk one was pretty bad.
I don't think I was paying attention for that one.
Oh, that was pretty
It was
bad.
bad.
Oh yeah, um, just him like singing "No Cows" or something in a field. The
That's
owner,
weird.
yeah, and yeah, the Doctor Squatch one was pretty good. I didn't mind that one.
Yeah, I've used their stuff. Maybe we'll get them as a sponsor. They're good stuff. They've been around for a while, like at least a year. But usually, yes, they were just online.
But I have to respect them for the ones that didn't do it and donated the money that they would have used for whatever their chosen thing was, if it was COVID-19 relief or systemic racism funding. So if they didn't, if people didn't have the regular ones on there and they were staying away and donating for that, good for them.
Yeah.
If they're just staying away because they weren't going to get the ratings or they didn't think they were going to get the money that they would normally get, then that's another story. But the ones that were donating the money that they would have used, I'm glad that they did. So,
Yeah, exactly.
how about you? What'd you think of those commercials?
Same thing. There were like one or two. The Budweiser is probably my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
Like between the bottles and Dr. Galowiczicz. Glakowicz. That was good. I didn't
loved you,
really
man.
understand the Matthew McConaughey one at first.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of weird.
It took me a few seconds to kind of realize what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
I did not count all the pink Mountain Dew bottles.
Yeah,
Did anyone find out how many there were yet, or no?
I have no idea.
There were a lot, but I definitely did not count them. I don't know. I know, and I guess it's been a weird year. That weird year, with COVID and everything. I just feel like commercials for the Super Bowl have gotten more expensive and less creative.
Very true. Very true.
I don't know. It is, yeah. That's me. All right, what do you got?
Well, before that, how about the halftime show? What'd you think of that?
It was okay. I mean, I would have preferred J-Lo and Shakira again, but again, that's me.
Yep.
A lot of people felt they were getting car sick when he had that the selfie pole, and he was like going back and forth with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I kind of feel like the dancers messed the field up because I feel like in the third quarter, a lot of people fell.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I thought it was pretty cool when they were all on the field because
No, it was a cool scene.
Normally they have the fans out there, but
Yeah.
since they didn't, I thought it was a decent halftime show. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great, but
Yeah,
it was good.
It was what it was supposed to be, which was
Yeah.
entertaining for 12 minutes. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my hot take. I
It's okay. Cinch and Adam are not here. It's a safe place.
I mean, the hot thing that's going around is what's going to happen with these QBs. we have a lot of flux going on this offseason, and not only with QBs, but there's a lot of unrestricted wide receivers that are decent out there. Do you know that list of wide
Uh,
receivers?
no, I can pull it up though, unless you
So
have it
my
in front of you.
my hot take is, or I don't know if it's a hot take or just a
Well, I mean,
question
we
is,
can just dive right into it. It's fine.
okay, is with all this flux, is there going to be a big change next year? I think there could be with with the who's on top next year.
All right.
I mean, I could see.
So right now, here is the top 10 as of right now. The top
Hmm
10 free agent wide receivers for next season,
Now
2021.
again, little caveat into all this. Any one of these teams can put the franchise tag on these guys, but
Yes.
it's fun to think about.
All right. So number one on the list is your favorite player, Allen Robinson.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Number one. Next is Chris Godwin,
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster,
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Galladay, Will Fuller, Marvin Jones Jr., AJ
Mm-hmm.
Green, T.Y.
Mm-hmm.
Hilton, Sammy Watkins, and number 10 is Larry Fitz.
Wow, there's a name on that not on the list that you mentioned that because I don't believe the Bears are going to get back Allen Robinson. I just don't think there's been too much discord. I mean, with what he said before about
But
I think there's friction between him
if
and
they
the.
manage,
Mhm.
which may or may not, but if they manage to get Carson Wentz, you think he stays?
I I don't yeah I'll discuss. I don't even want Carson Wentz to tell you the truth,
Oh
but
no.
but but that's a whole different conversation which we can get into about how the Bears I think see themselves and how I see themselves. I think
Oh,
they're
we can get into that next, sure.
they're getting they're still a ways away where I believe they think that they're that couple one or two pieces away,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But the name I was talking about, Curtis Samuel, he's a free agent,
Is he?
and I don't know. I don't know if he will be franchised like they might do for Allen Robinson. Kenny Galladay might be. Juju Smith-Schuster might be. All those big names they could be. I don't know if Curtis Samuel will be. That's an interesting name that I think that would make a big difference on a team.
He would. He was one of the surprise receivers this year in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
He was very consistent too, especially being on that team.
But
So if we go back to quarterbacks really quick, here's the list of
mhm.
quarterbacks. So there's Dak Prescott, Mitchell Trubisky, Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, and Cam Newton. Now, I have to say, out of these 8 guys, there's only there's only one guy on here that I can say I am almost certain is going to be on his team that he's currently on next season, and that's Jameis Winston.
You believe? Okay, you believe that? You think that
I think
he's
he
the
took a year behind, sitting behind Drew Brees to learn that offense. And I mean, if you're going to learn from a quarterback,
and learn not to make turnovers.
and he has new eyes.
Did he learn that?
Everyone forgot that he has new eyes now. He can see. He got
Yeah.
LASIK surgery after he left Houston. So
After where? What?
after he left Tampa, not Houston.
There,
Wow.
there you go.
Sorry, Houston is another dumpster
Oh
fire
my
that we
God.
can dive into as well.
Oh yeah. But so what's the question about the quarterbacks?
So in your mind, which one of these guys is going to get the money they want, or who's going to be the biggest target in free agency? I should say that's the question.
Uh, I think no doubt it should be Dak.
Even with his ankle injury.
I think so. I mean, I think he will still get paid. If it's in Dallas, I don't know. They he they Dallas messed up that whole situation. They could, I mean, I don't know.
I know they're definitely
He's
not getting their return on Zeke so far.
no, they are not. They paid Zeke and they're not getting that return. They should have just paid Dak, and I mean, in truth, I mean, you wouldn't have known this year what would have happened, with the injury, but if it was still, but I just feel that that he's the one that should probably get paid. Um, who are the other ones? I'm sorry,
No,
because
so it's Dak
it doesn't
Prescott,
really matter. Yeah,
Mitchell Trubisky, Jameis Winston,
nope,
Andy Dalton, Ryan
no.
Fitzpatrick, Jacoby Brissett,
Hmm.
Tyrod Taylor, and Cam
Those
Newton.
those are all either. I mean, Cam is the only one that would have been something a little bit more special, but I think he's just run down. He's too run down now. But that whole list is eh. This is why it's like I'd rather have one of the top five guys in the draft. I mean, give me Trevor Lawrence, give me Zach Wilson, give me Justin Fields, give me Mac Jones, give me one of those guys. The guy from Florida, and I can't remember his name right now. Those are the guys. It's a young man's league. You know,
Yeah, but do you
it,
think as a Bears fan, do you think the Bears are in a position to go to a rookie quarterback to
I
fix
mean,
their offense?
there's the issue. It's where do teams believe they are? You know, do they believe that they're ready to win, or are they building to win? I mean, obviously, if you think you're ready to win, you go for that guy that's established. I mean, that's why I think Carson Wentz might be a better fit for Indy. Indy, I think, is in a better place than Chicago is. Hurts me to say it, but I think they're more ready to win than Chicago is, and I think they're that quarterback away. So is Wentz the answer?
I
I
don't know.
can't tell you. They have to tell you that. They have to. They think.
That year he had the
Go ahead.
MVP year. Like everyone on that team was amazing. The offensive line was the best one in football, and then he got hurt, and then everything just went downhill.
Hmm. Hmm. Again, but that's up to them. Do they want that? They want that established guy, right? I mean, who's taking over for Philip Rivers? I mean, they have to find somebody that is it Andy Dalton? Can Andy Dalton take them to the promised land? Is it Carson Wentz who, if he's healthy, he can they've played at that MVP level, maybe you take the chance there. If you're ready to win, you don't really want the young guy. So, I mean, I think Chicago isn't there. I mean, I think Pace and Nagy are thinking that because their jobs are on the line, so they're hoping that it is.
So they're like, we have to win
Um,
now.
and truthfully, I know their defense hasn't been as dominating as it was two seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 3 seasons. I don't know, but it's still a good defense. It's still good. It's good enough to win, I think. I mean, I, I don't think they're worse than Tampa's defense, and Tampa's dominated, in a couple game stretches. If they're motivated in the playoffs, the Bears defense could probably carry them. Um, you know,
But could their defense carry them to win that division, or would
the
they carry them
Rodgers
enough to
factor.
say
That's what it
get a
is.
wild card?
Yeah, I think they could get a wild card
All right, that's
if
that's
they have
fair.
a quarterback to do it. Obviously, if they don't have Allen Robinson back there, wide receivers are very suspect. I mean, Mooney was nice, but you have a lot of question marks there. But to get back to it, it's all depends on how these teams feel about it. I mean, obviously, if you're the Jets and Watson's available, you trade the world for it. I mean,
Right.
just do it. You have a 25-year-old quarterback for hopefully the next 10, 15 years. that wants to be there. You trade him, and you still have, and then you still have draft assets. You know, if Darnold's part of the deal, or you could trade him for hopefully a one. You have a one back. You know, I mean, and no, I do not want Darnold either. Darno either.
I think Darnold was in the wrong spot because he was drafted and Todd Bowles was there, and he's a defensive guy. He's not a quarterback whisperer at all, and he wasn't that good of a head coach for the Jets.
No,
amazing defensive coordinator. I'm just saying he did not work out as a head coach for the Jets. Then the Jets get Gase, who's supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. It didn't work, and I know he had mono that one season, and he couldn't play or he was going to die. That's fine. We'll take that 1 year out of the equation. But still, it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't work. So I think Darnold has. If he lands in the right spot, it could work. But here's the thing, though. What would you want the Bears to give up for, say, Wentz? Because the last I checked, the Bears said that the Eagles wanted something completely insane that no one would do. I don't know what that is, though.
I wouldn't give up more than a 1. Give them a 1 and a 3, and that's it.
Like next season or over the course of like 2 seasons?
I don't care.
Either
1
way.
and a 3. It could be this season. It could be next season. It could be a combination. But I'm not giving you. I know Matt Stafford got 2 1s, but that was to dump the salary, to offset the salary. They were like, hey, you need to give us some of this money, another pick.
Right.
It wasn't anything to do with how, Matt Stafford should have gone for a 1, considering his career is, getting towards the middle end, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If Watson's a first rounds, you're not getting that for Wentz. I'm sorry, you're not getting
not in his broken condition.
The Mets. Oh boy, sorry. The Bears gave up 2 first-rounders for Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is top of his defensive end. You're not. I know quarterbacks are another breed, but you're not. I'm not giving up 2 1s for Carson Wentz. I'd rather draft. Again, I'd rather draft one of those 5 quarterbacks in the first, in the draft than take on Wentz. But again, the Bears are probably going to end up giving up whatever for Wentz because they feel like they're a piece away, maybe other than another wide receiver.
All right. So what other quarterback, if there's a team, what were you going to say? Good.
I was going to say, what do you feel about the quarterback situations out there?
I think this upcoming offseason has the potential to be one of the craziest off seasons we've ever had. With people
definitely
not happy
between
with
those
their team, not happy with their contracts. Because now there's a rumor going around that Russell Wilson doesn't know if he's going to be in Seattle. He said that's up to Seattle, but he did make it a point to say that he was not happy how much he was getting hit this season. So, where does he wind up if he goes somewhere? What if he winds up on the Raiders?
Yeah, right. That's crazy. That's that's a far extreme though. But the realistic is Watson and Wentz and Darnold. Again, baseball. Sorry. But those are the more realistic. In these free agents. With the wide receivers that could be available and the quarterbacks, either via trade or signing, so a lot of movement that could happen this offseason. So who's the favorite next year? It's still going to be Kansas City and Tampa and Green Bay, I guess. But there could be, there could be guys that come up what if Indy, gets Wentz? Do they become the second favorite in the AFC? I don't know.
They would in that division, because look at the other teams in that division. They're the Texans, the Jags, and the Titans. and you're
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
out of those three teams, they're really your
Titans is
only
the only other one.
opponents. The
Yeah.
Titans. And the Titans are beatable,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I said, Houston's a dumpster fire right now, and the Jaguars are in complete rebuilding mode. So
Yeah.
that's the thing about Houston, because now there was that who was it? Their president resigned. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like no one, as Cinch said, no one really wants to be in Houston. It seems
Yeah. I mean, even J.J. Watt doesn't want to be part of a rebuild.
not
Do
at
they
this
do they
point in his
trade him?
career. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you. What is your thought
Mm-hmm.
on players? So they sign a contract, they get past their rookie year, right? Their rookie contract rather. They
Mm-hmm.
sign a 3 or 4 year deal with the team. Now all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden it's year 2 or year 3 of that contract. They are
Mm-hmm.
completely miserable, do not want to be there at all. Don't want to go there. They don't want to put the uniform on. They do not want to be on that team. So, what are your thoughts on
Mm-hmm.
players now? Because it seems to be like a shift. Because this really never happened that much before. Or players just go up to the owner and be like, I don't want to be here anymore. Because I think that's going to be a trend we're going to see more often.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I, you know, I know the way football contracts are made and how this is why there's big guaranteed money because after the guaranteed money, they could get rid of you in a second and your contract is null and void. Why can't the players null and void their contract like the owners can?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, uh, to me, it makes it makes it a little bit fair because they could just get rid of you in the middle of your contract if they wanted to, but God forbid that the player should want to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't want it one way, then you can't have it the other way. So to give a little control to the players, I think is fair because the owners could do the same, could get rid of the contract if they wanted to. I mean, granted, I look at baseball and you see baseball how these contracts are, crazy as well, but they're all guaranteed. So if the guy's sitting on the, injured reserve bench, whatever, for 3 years and he signed $20 million, you're still paying him $20 million even though he ain't playing.
Right.
Which is, I think, ridiculous as
Just
well.
ask the Mets
I mean,
about that. Yeah, it's
oh well. Let's not forget the Yankees and Jacoby Ellsbury. Okay,
there's that,
so
but at least they're not paying him,
but
every year for 35 years or whatever it is.
hey, that
Uh,
was the smartest contract
no, it
decision
was.
that anyone
That
has ever made.
I wish I knew someone as
And if
smart as that
those that
guy's
don't
agent.
know, it's called Bobby Bonilla Day.
Mm-hmm.
We pay him $1
Exactly.
million every year for like 35 years,
Yeah, I
even
think
though
there's
he
like
hasn't played in.
8 or 10 years left. They have to pay him.
I don't know. I don't know.
That was,
But anyway,
yeah, that was I just gotta say the day or night that they signed that contract, there must have been so much alcohol and coke and strippers involved. Like I would have loved to have just seen it.
it was a smart contract decision made by the agent and the player.
Mm-hmm.
It was his retirement fund. I mean, let's just say because after you're done, there is no retirement fund for or
No,
pension
you have
for
to wind up.
players. I mean, I think there might be some pension in baseball, but not now, right? Same thing with. I mean, they just started it in football, right? So.
Yeah, you have to hope you wind up on TV or an analyst or
Mm-hmm.
somewhere.
So he made his own pension.
That's
So
true.
good
That's
for
true. That
him.
was extremely smart of him. Oh wait, not just in. This is from yesterday, but it concerns quarterbacks. Apparently, there is serious interest in teams trading for Marcus Mariota. Why?
Okay. Name out of the yeah.
They didn't say who though.
I
Do
mean,
you
if
know
you
he was
want
the
to,
number 2 pick in 2015?
Yeah, there's lots of those high picks that don't pan out, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you want
it
him on the
worked for,
Bears?
like I said, it worked for no, no.
Oh man.
I want my Patrick Mahomes, and the only way to get that is to draft somebody and hope we get it, hit the lotto. I mean,
Yeah,
again,
unless you get
there
Deshaun
won't
Watson,
be
really.
or Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, exactly.
Which with the Bears will never live down. Um,
Who do they pass over? Everyone?
both Watson, both Watson and Mahomes.
Oh, they pass over
So,
both. I thought it was just
mm,
Watson for some reason. Hmm. That.
nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
So, I mean, speaking of, we haven't talked about the Super Bowl at all.
No, we talked about the commercials. We
We
talked
talked about
about the commercials. We could talk about the Super
so
Bowl.
so Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Shocked, surprised.
I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this proves once
What?
again, which I've mentioned randomly throughout the year,
Mm-hmm.
your backups matter.
Definitely,
And
definitely. And an offensive line is one of those.
is key
Yeah.
because trust me, being a Bengals fan, I know what bad offensive lines do. Uh, if your top five guys on your line, if one of them gets hurt, that is not good because if
Usually the
people
backup
haven't
is not
noticed
good.
is teams don't spend a lot of money on backup linemen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have they're in the NFL, so they're good enough to be there, but they're not the starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Yeah.
getting play
And
time. They're not used to the quarterbacks snapping in his cadence. So
and that's the thing is that people get caught up in the primetime players and the main players, and
mhm.
you look at it, it's like, could you have seen it? Could you have seen this happening? You know what? Your top two linemen or top linemen, two of them opted out. Your two guys that were replacing them, they were both out. Now you're down to the third string.
Exactly.
It was a big uphill climb
Because
for
the
the
same thing
Kansas City
happened to the
offensive line.
Packers
Mm-hmm.
before their playoff game.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden you have to make your left tackle your right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So now his brain has to adjust to being on the other side because that changes the way you step and block. Then they put the backup in at left tackle, or right tackle, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
again, you could have. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is otherworldly, right? I
mhm.
mean, did you see that throw he
His
made?
diving throw, that was an
The
impressive throw.
diving throw.
That was that
So
that
he
is
was
an homage to
per-
his days playing as shortstop because
That
that was
is
a
true.
shortstop
That,
throw.
that was, but literally sideways, perpendicular to the ground,
hmm
parallel to the ground. Sorry, parallel to the ground. He throws it and hits the guy in the face mask. It's like, wow, you just did off. But and he ran 500 yards,
I think it was 425 yards
97. No, I think it was
scrambling.
497, something like that. Something crazy scrambling. I mean, every play he was running for his life. It was hard. So those are the two takes. That was for me for the Super Bowl. That and the refs got a little too involved in the penalties in that first half.
I think so.
Would the KC still have would have won? I
Yeah,
don't know. Their offensive line was so decimated. I don't know.
yeah. I don't. The
But
way they came out. Yeah, I
but
don't know. Yep.
but but it made a difference, in that first half. I think they were a little too flag happy
hmm
in the first half. But the other take I have on there is that they'll be back. Kansas City is not, they're too good. They're too good. Patrick Mahomes is too good.
Yeah, they have way
I'm,
too
I'm a
many
little I'm a little
weapons.
surprised. I'm a little surprised that there wasn't a change of game plan in that second half. I
I
thought
was
they might
too.
I thought they might run more, and it
Hmm.
looked like they might have, but they abandoned that again. I don't
Hmm.
know if it's because the score got too big for them to think that they could run, but I think they needed to run with up the gut. That the weak point of Tampa was up the gut,
Yeah.
um, in not the outside
And
because the outside they were covering that outside, but up the gut. I think they could have gotten a little bit of running, but they didn't.
mhm.
I'm kind of surprised with enemy that they didn't do
I
that.
think part of it too was they might have this group mentality that it doesn't matter what the score is because we can score like 28 points in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
That could have been part of it, but I think a lot there was this. I don't know. There's just I just think
only if you could
things
throw the
happen in
ball though.
Kansas City. What'd you say?
Only if you can throw the ball though.
That's
They
true.
couldn't even he couldn't even get the
It
ball
was
off.
just I think it was just a series of events in
Hmm.
Kansas City because they had Holmes's first he had his toe injury, then he had his neck injury, then they had the COVID thing, which I'll talk about in a second. Then they had the Andy Reid's son getting in the accident.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think there was just way, and then
It's a
their
yeah,
offensive line broke.
yeah. The mixture of all those things and blended up together,
Hmm.
perfect storm for Tom Brady winning his seventh.
Yeah, Ray, look at me, Cinch. I'm waving a flag. See, that just made Cinch laugh. See, he's laughing in his car right now, or his truck.
Hmm.
Um, but the thing with COVID is when I was watching that game and they showed Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, to me, he looked legitimately sick. Not sick of how he was playing or sick because of the score. He looked like he was physically ill.
Mm,
So in
I
a
don't know.
couple days, if it comes out that more people in Kansas City on the team have COVID, I am not going to be
Mm.
shocked. I'm not going to be shocked.
I think he was just sick of how they were
I
losing.
mean,
But
that's very possible, but he just did not physically look good to me.
yeah. I mean, but again, to Britt, to those Kansas City fans, it's a bump in the road. You guys are going to
They'll be
be in
back.
contention. Yeah, they're going to be in contention for years to come.
Oh yeah, and this
I
was
mean,
not.
and it's going to be. It's like me sitting there and knowing that every year I have to put up with Aaron Rodgers. Before that, Brett Favre. These great quarterbacks that you have to try to beat, win against, and that AFC West is going to have the same issues. So
Yeah,
only quarterback to make it to two Super Bowls by the age of 25. So he's going
that's
to make it back.
that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, just this was also too as this game was not as exciting as everyone thought it was going to be, but it was not the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you know what the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen was?
The Chicago Bears versus New England Patriots.
No, that was an amazing one, especially with the fridge. But
Yeah, yeah.
the worst one I have ever seen was in the late '90s when it was
Mm-hmm.
the Chargers.
Bills versus somebody? Oh,
No, it
go
was the
ahead.
Chargers versus the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And the 49ers won like 57-10. Like halfway through the second
Oh, yeah.
quarter, we stopped actually paying attention to the TV and started
Mm.
playing a card game
Yeah, yeah, no.
because it was bad.
Yeah, there was a I think it was a Bills one. A Bills maybe Washington or Bills Dallas where the
Giants.
score was no, that was exciting. That was exciting. That came down to the last kick, so but I think they lost to the Washington and they lost twice to Dallas
Mm-hmm.
in those other 3 years, and I know that there was at least one of them that was so bad that we decided we were going to go out and play football ourselves because we couldn't stand watching it.
That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah.
Yep. So since you're listening, there you have it. Sean and I just said that Tom Brady has won 7 Super Bowls. The end.
7.
There you
That's
go.
it. That's all you're going to
That's
get
all
out
you're
of it.
That's all you're getting out of us.
How many
Uh,
does Gronk have now? Then I don't know.
3?
5, 3, 4. I don't know. Anyway,
I have no idea. But you know what? As you mentioned, they had that boat parade and they almost dropped the trophy in the water. So
that yeah. Did you see that? Did you?
I
They
saw
were
a preview
literally
picture.
from what I heard is that they were tossing that Lombardi trophy from boat to boat. And and you brought up this before we started recording. If they had dropped that into the ocean or the river, that's it. That's the trophy. That's the Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, they need
Not
one like the NHL.
there you go. That was the point. Like the NHL. Here's your guys ones that you could do whatever you with.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping the good one. Right?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, quick another quarterback news. Are you ready for this?
Okay,
Ready?
sure.
Josh Rosen has signed a 1-year contract with the 49ers.
There's
Does it matter?
the answer.
Well, I actually heard a
Are
lot of
they
people think they're
keeping
going to trade Garoppolo.
Are they gonna keep Garoppolo? Do you think they're gonna trade him? I don't know.
I don't know. They after that Super Bowl with Kansas City, they disintegrated. I don't know what the hell happened to the 49ers.
Yeah.
It just became a mess. Giant mess.
I never thought Garoppolo was the answer anywhere. But
Anywhere?
yeah.
Not even
I mean here's the thing. It's like how many teams need a quarterback in the NFL? You like there is you could name I think it's easier to name the teams that don't than the ones that do. I mean, obviously, you got Kansas City doesn't need one. Or start to look in the future for one, like right now. Buffalo doesn't need one. I'd say San Diego doesn't need one. I mean, Tampa, I think you got to think about looking for one after next year, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm. Well, we went through that list before in our group chat. So let me see what do we come up with here. Who does not need a quarterback? Okay, so it is so far the Chiefs, right? San Diego, Buffalo. We'll say Tampa for now because we're going to assume Brady's still going to play. The Bengals.
Okay, yep,
And
Burrow. Yep. Although they need one for next year.
Who?
The Bengals. I mean, when is he supposed to come back?
His therapy is going well, and he is on track to start week 1.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
As of right now, he is.
The way I saw that knee bend, that leg move, I'm surprised
that was not.
able to come back
That was
next
not good. That was not good at all.
But yes, all right, good for him. Okay,
so there you have it.
that's it.
It's a very short list. How do you feel about Arizona? Do they think they need?
No, I do not think
Nope.
they need. I do not think. I think Kyler Murray. I know he has some ways to go with the passing, a little bit, but I think they're good. I don't think they have to think about it. Obviously, I don't think. Well,
Seattle, depending what they do.
Philly, Dallas, if they end up, paying their quarterback, they also need one. Whoever gets Watson, they don't need a quarterback.
If they trade him or let him go?
Who?
Watson.
Well, they're not going to let him go. They're not going to let him go. They're going to trade him, but it just depends on who. Whoever gets a quarterback in the draft won't need one. But I guess they would need one right now.
What about Miami? Does Miami stay with Tua?
They
they
were in the conversation for Watson as well, right?
They were originally. I don't know if they still are. Honestly, I think really the only team that can afford him are the Jets. I don't think anyone else that can afford him right now.
I mean, I think Miami could if Washington wants Tua. I mean, not Washington. What am I going to talk about? Jesus. If Houston wants Tua, if Houston wants Tua, then I think they could,
Mm-hmm.
you know, afford him. Because I don't think I don't think you've seen horrible from Tua to say that he's a bust, you know. So, but I don't know. I mean, I think they stick with Tua in Miami.
At least another
Um,
season.
I think you have to actually. Yeah, you have two. I think you give him two. I mean, this was his rookie year, wasn't it?
Technically, yes. So
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how the NFL has changed to where these college quarterbacks are viewed. Now it's you have to if you're not shown by year 2, 3,
yeah, you're
that's
done.
then you're done. I mean, you used to sit on the bench for 2 years at
At
least
least, yeah. Like
before you even
how
got
many
a
years
chance
was
to start.
how many years was Rogers behind Favre?
I mean, even Rodgers, yeah, even Rodgers, and that was surprising, because even then, you still had people that started right away, or not right away, but yeah, he was on the bench for 2 years at least,
Mm-hmm. Then
waiting for
Favre went to the
Favre.
Jets.
I mean, Steve Young, how long did he was he on
Yeah, now it's you.
behind?
That's why I worry
Now it's
about Jacksonville, because they're gonna draft Trevor, and I honestly don't
mhm.
know if they're gonna give him enough time to build that team. So
I think I think he's a special enough talent
mm-hmm.
that he'll make that team better, not like not like Mahomes where, I mean, that team was already good,
Right.
decent with Alex Smith. So, that
Yeah,
just put him over the
my
top.
go-to
But
example is always David Carr. And going back to Houston,
mm,
that that team that David Carr was on was awful. The offensive line
mhm.
was not good.
I mean,
He got
I
hit a
mean that
lot.
that's the issue if you get picked though with that number one pick.
Mm,
You're going to the worst team. They don't have very much in probably offensive line
they don't
and,
have much really of
skill
anything.
position. And exactly, you are the one that needs to bring them there. Obviously, should they try to help that offensive line to keep you upright? Yeah, yeah, somehow. How much can you improve it in 1 year? I don't know. Which is why probably it's best to keep them on those two guys on the bench for 2 years. Get some free agents, some draft picks to help them out, and so when they are the starter, you're. But it's all about the money now. You have to perform in that rookie contract, so you're worth that money that they pay you later.
Hmm.
I mean, that's the bad thing about running backs is that not only are you devalued now, where they used to be very valued, it's you're getting paid nothing for your 4 years, and by then your career's halfway over, if not more. You know, so
Yep. And you know
it's a
what's? Yep. What are you say?
it's crazy how the money changes and how the view of these players changed over the years.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
now it's
crazy.
produced now,
Yeah.
especially the quarterbacks
You have
produced now.
2.5 seasons. That's it.
Yeah.
And speaking of time, we are actually out of time.
Oh
Sad.
wow,
Yeah. Uh,
that went pretty quickly.
it did, right? It did.
Yeah.
So my final thought really has to do with time because I just saw two things that made me feel older than what my ID says I am to buy beer. It's when you get to the point where you remember players like getting drafted, and then you remember them playing, and then they stop playing, and then all of a sudden they become coaches. So just so you know,
Yeah.
if you weren't aware, so you can feel old as well, is Anton Randall L is now a receivers coach for the Lions,
hmm
and
Wow.
the Jets. they actually just hired Leon Washington as a special teams assistant coach.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. How about you?
Well, my final thought will kind of go in the same little bit in the same direction because my example will be in the same direction. But my final thought is I think the NFL needs to change how the coaching hiring thing. I don't think they should be able to start even hiring these coaches until after the Super Bowl. Because obviously the biggest name is Eric Bieniemy.
Yep. I think Byron Leftwich too.
But yeah, think about that. Think about that now. I mean, how in demand would Byron Leftwich and even Todd Bowles with the defense, even though he had his chance in with the Jets, but again, that's with the Jets, that they would be in demand right now. I mean, Bowles just stopped, the best offense in the league. Didn't even score a touchdown.
Nope.
In that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And Byron Leftwich systematically decimated everybody's offense. I mean, granted, he had Tom Brady, but how in demand after that and after these playoff runs would those guys be as well?
Exactly.
Why is there such a rush to start hiring these coaches right after the regular season ends? I mean,
I don't know. I'm gonna say it would
give these other guys.
Yeah.
It would give these other guys a chance to be hired.
Yeah, it's a weird. I think part of it is the timing, because I have no idea how long it takes to hire a coach and have him hire people. Because I'm assuming if you wait till after the Super Bowl, that gives you like a month to prep for the draft, month and a half.
This is what, April? Yeah, April 10th. Yeah,
I'm assuming that's why.
So I guess 2 months, maybe. Then maybe they need to rethink that too. I mean,
push the draft
I don't
back.
know. I think it definitely it hurts some people from getting hired as a coach that should be. I mean, Eric Bieniemy, he could be. I mean, I guess he could be interviewed and stuff, but he can't be hired till afterward.
Yep.
But
and then look how far the Chiefs get into the playoffs, and then you have to wait, and the teams don't want to wait.
And if it can continue to be that way for many years to come with that team.
Exactly.
I mean,
no, you're right. Maybe
that's just my final thought, is that maybe they need to rethink of when they could, just give some time to after the playoffs, after the Super Bowl, to start hiring, head coaches. But just my thought.
No, that makes perfect sense. Say we move the draft to May. Give an extra.
Yeah,
month.
because you don't miss anything. Because when do they report? They report in April. Not April. I mean, June, July.
June, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than enough time. And folks, we're out of time.
Okay.
Sad. Very sad.
It is.
This was a good conversation.
No more football games to talk about after this episode.
No, none. I mean, unless we start playing Madden. I mean, we could do that. We could talk about Madden and Retro Bowl until the draft. Sure. And folks, thank you once again for downloading the podcast, listening. As you know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon Podcasts now if you look for podcasts in Audible, Player FM, Stitcher, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. We are probably there, more than likely. I'm pretty sure we're still on Spotify, but Spotify's getting a little weird with podcasts. And also, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can also find us on fignutsdfs.com. And with that, I'm Craig.
And I'm Sean.
And we are the Football Fignuts Podcast.
Bye.